Hey everybody, welcome to my review of the Sig Sauer 716. In addition to the AR-15s that I have, which are awesome rifles and have very good calibers for 5.56 for instance, it's always nice to have something in a little bit of a bigger caliber, allowing you to hit targets that are further away, and if you're into hunting, allowing you to take down game that is a little bit bigger. I'm not really that much of a hunter. Actually, I've never hunted at all. I wanted this rifle just because I thought the 308 was an awesome caliber, but also just it's something nice to add to my collection in addition to the 5.56 AR-15s. This gun is a piston operated gun. The slide that you'll see next is of the 4-position gas valve that's up front that can allow you to shoot for suppressed weapons or under adverse conditions, like if your gun has a lot of dirt or gunk in it. It even allows you to fire in single shot, meaning that when you pull the trigger it won't cycle in a new round and it's effectively a bolt action. Here is a shot of basically the valve as well as a gas block. And here's the business end showing the operations or the push rod that smacks into the bolt carrier group. It's a 16-inch barrel without the A2 flash hider that comes from the factory. And it also comes equipped with a quad rail, aluminum quad rail, that's actually pretty nice looking from the factory. As you can see here from the rear shot, there's a forward assist as well as the rear sight. And here's a shot of the rear sight looking down the barrel. Pretty nice quality rear sight. And here we have the front horseshoe designed front sight post. Now what I'll have here is basically what I'm showing is the adjustability of the stock, and also what I'll show at the end is that there is a little bit of play. It doesn't have that tension lever that Magpul has. As you can see, there's a little bit of play here. It's not really that much of a bad thing. It doesn't really affect the rifle's accuracy at all. Here we have the heart and soul of the gun, the bolt carrier group, all broken apart. And here we have the Sig Sauer 308 bolt carrier group up top in comparison to an AR-15 bolt carrier group from a Smith & Wesson MMP-15, so you can note the size difference. And there's just a close-up of the bolt carrier group. One thing I noticed is at the bottom of the handle, or the grip, there was like a trap door looking thing, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I flipped it open, and lo and behold, there was room for storage. I was like pleasantly surprised because my two other ARs don't have this. It's just a hole, and I put some batteries in there, and it can actually hold a fair amount of items in there, such as Allen keys or screwdrivers and whatnot. And now let's go to the range. I bought some VisiShot targets for this review as they're excellent targets for judging a rifle's accuracy. I apologize about the peppering that you see on the targets. I only managed to fire one group before this particular target was blown off of its stand due to the high gusts. And you can see all the peppering from all the rounds hitting the steel targets as they hit the ground. But overall, I did manage to get a pretty decent group of less than 1.5 MOA. And I do wish to say that the trigger on this gun, even though it is mil-spec, is not designed for super accuracy. It's very, very creepy. It's very, very stiff. I believe it's almost 8 pounds of pull in order for it to break. And it's kind of inconsistent as to where it breaks. So that also leads to a lot of uncertainty and a lot of shots that are not as accurate as you would want them to be. When I put up a second target, I was able to get a full 4 quadrants worth of use. There was a little bit of variations in there. However, the variations were not the rifle's fault. They were my fault. And I will actually blame the trigger as well. Like I said, the trigger was very difficult to use. Nonetheless, I still managed to get a group that was less than 1.5 MOA, again with the bad trigger, and also using cheap PMC ammo. So my closing thoughts on this rifle, even though I don't have too many rounds through it, is that it's an absolutely awesome rifle, especially for the price. It's very, very well made. It's very, very accurate considering the trigger that it has. It's very ergonomic. It feels great. It shoots great. It's very, very reliable. I didn't have a single failure to feed, failure to eject. The rifle ran flawlessly. It was awesome. I do have 2 improvements in mind that I will be doing to the gun. The first and foremost, I'm going to be getting a better trigger. The stock trigger is a mil-spec trigger. It breaks very heavily. I think it's almost like an 8-pound break, and it's, like I said before, it's very, very creepy, meaning that you pull, incrementally on the trigger trying to find where the breaking point is. And you can pull, I've counted that you can pull as much as 4 times on the trigger trying to find the breaking point. And that kind of uncertainty leads to, shots that are not as accurate as you want them to be. So I've decided that I'm going to be going with a Geisley SSA enhanced trigger that has a much lighter pull, and it's much more predictable and is supposed to be used for more precision shooting. So it'll be interesting to see how well this rifle does with that particular trigger. I'm also going to be putting a muzzle brake at the end of the barrel instead of the A2 flash hider, which does very, very little for recoil control. And it'll also be interesting to see how well that particular muzzle brake performs on keeping the barrel nice, flat, and level. And let's see if we can get any more accuracy out of this gun. But overall, if you're looking for a 308 platform that isn't as expensive as some of the other brands, which can go as much as $3,000. I paid about $2,000 for this particular rifle. I highly suggest the Sig 716 if you wish to add it to your personal collection. Overall, thank you for viewing the video. Please rate and comment, subscribe, and I look forward to producing some more videos for you guys. Until then, thank you very much, and take care.